So before I show you where these points are, we need to understand what they are. As I've said, these points that you can touch and access information through from the meridians are basically points on your body that are like door openers to each of the energy systems governing each of the 14 major energy organs of your body. I'm not sure where the name come from, but we call them alarm points. It's something that's just been around a while. So they're called alarm points, and they're points that you touch that access information from the energy system relating to the physical organ of your body. So how does this work? Well, basically, what you're accessing is information from the acupuncture meridians. You may have heard of acupuncture. It's a system that's been around for a long time. Each organ in your body is governed by one energy system which you cannot see, and it's called an acupuncture meridian. The Chinese understood this, and they mapped them out thousands of years ago. It's remarkable to think that the Chinese knew about this stuff even before Jesus was walking on this earth. And they developed a very intricate and effective system for helping people back to health using the information that they understood. And the beautiful thing is that we now have access to that information at a simple level, at a basic level, and we can use the information to help ourselves and help our friends and others back to health. It's not that complicated when you keep it simple. You see, the thing is that this is a divine design. This is how God made the body. You know, 4/5 of us isn't physical. Your spirit isn't physical. Your soul, which is your mind and your emotions, that's not physical. Your acupuncture meridians, they aren't physical. So the way it works is that the spirit, which is the source of life, feeds life force energy through the mind and the emotions, down through the chakras and through the acupuncture meridians into your physical body. So your physical body is sustained by these things. It's not the other way around. The food you eat does not sustain you. It's the energy of the life force energy of creation. That's what sustains you. But anyway, more about that later. For the moment, let's have a look and see what this is all about. You have 14 major physical organs in the body, and I'm going to identify them shortly with you, and we'll go through them. They each are connected to 14 acupuncture meridians. So each energy system, each acupuncture meridian has a connection to each physical organ. So the heart energy has its own acupuncture meridian, the stomach energy has its own acupuncture meridian, etc. The acupuncture meridians do interact in very significant ways, and it's very structured, but they are individual insofar as they work with a specific organ. I think that makes fairly decent sense. Now, you can't see them with your eyes. They're not physical in the sense that you can touch them or see them with your eyes, but they are real, because apart from the fact that the Chinese have been using it for thousands of years, equipment has now been developed that can actually identify them. So you can move this equipment along the skin and it beeps every time it finds an acupuncture meridian. So now even modern medicine accepts that they are real because they can be measured. You may hear me referring to energy kinesiology, which is what we're using, this system which I'm going to teach you, as NHD, because that's the particular system that I've developed over many years to make this whole amazing interaction with your body much simpler than it normally is. And NHD stands for Nature's Hidden Design, and that's exactly what we're looking at. Nature's hidden design. The beauty and awesome, amazing miracle of the human body. That's really what it is. God's design is so perfect and so intricate, and yet you can still interact with it in ways that we didn't understand until relatively recently. But now knowledge is increasing, and there are more systems out there that help us to do it. And this is one that really works very, very well. The beauty of this is that it'll work for you, for your friends, for your family. Anybody can use this. It's not complicated. Now you will gain more understanding in all of this as we go through the course, and of course you will learn to work with them. That's the whole point. It's fascinating material, and it will open your understanding up to the wonder of creation and the human body, and how you can interact with it and make meaningful changes in just a few minutes that can impact your life for the rest of your days. Remember, we're not dealing at the physical level, we're dealing with the causal levels behind the physical. So very often when you have a pain or an ache, the cause is actually, unless you actually belted yourself off a wall, the cause is usually more in the energy system, in the emotional trauma and other things. You're going to find all that out as we go through the course, and I'm going to show you how to deal with it, how to work with it, and how to diffuse it. So let's get started and make the connections. There are 14 major organs, 14 major energy systems. We've got the central vessel and the governing vessel. Now, I'm going to go through these in no specific order. This is just for your general information. As we work with them and as you learn to find the points, there's a certain way of doing it because it's easier to do it that way. But this, for general information, just listen and pick up what you want out of it. So the central vessel is the vessel or the energy meridian that carries information or energy around the brain, starts down near the pelvis and runs right up along the front of the body, ending up here on your chin. A governing vessel starts at the base of your spine around the coccyx bone, runs right up along your spine, right over the top of the head, and ends up here. Now these two meridians are unique and different insofar as they work together. Of course they interact with all the others as well, but they're individually single meridians. All the other meridians, which we're going to talk about, all the other 12, are bilateral meridians, which means that there are two of them. You have two legs, you have two arms, so you need a meridian running down each. And so you actually have one. You have a stomach meridian on your left and you have a stomach meridian on your right. That's the way God set it up. So that's just a piece of information so you don't get, you wonder about that later on. When we're talking to the meridians, we're going to touch one point in most cases, and that accesses the whole meridian left and right. So you don't have to be concerned about whether it's left or right, you just touch the point. Now the stomach meridian governs the stomach. And the stomach, of course, is very involved in breaking down food and digesting your food, and also very involved in dealing with stress and helping us to cope with stress. And so information you get from touching the stomach meridian is very helpful in dealing with these issues. The spleen meridian, now these are all the 14. You've got stomach and spleen, and we'll talk about them as you go down. Now you're going to easily learn these because they're all part of a system that you learn very freely. I'll teach you how to do it. So these names will just pop up easily for you. But the spleen represents, as we would normally think, your immune system, but in the energy systems of the body, the spleen represents the blood sugar handling as well. And it also, once it represents, it kind of influences the digestive system as well. So there's three aspects to spleen. There's blood sugar handling, that's through insulin, there's digestive enzymes, and then there's the immune system itself. So you've got one point covering all those, and all that information is available through one point. The heart meridian governs the heart, and of course the heart, apart from being a very big and important physical organ, is also considered to be the seat of the emotions. And we'll be talking a lot about emotions, so the heart is very important in all of this. And the heart meridian is basically governed, or yes, controlled or influenced by other things. All the other meridians affect it too, but fundamentally it is looking after the heart. And there are several wonderful techniques and simple techniques that you will learn that you can use, which you and your family, you can use with your friends, your family, on yourself of course, to diffuse trauma and stress that are causing impacts in these areas. The next system is the small intestine, and of course that's your gut, that's your digestive system, and it's very connected to the heart energetically, and so it's influenced a lot by emotions. The next system is called the bladder system. Now the bladder at a physical level is quite a small organ, but energetically it's the largest meridian in the body, which is quite surprising, really. And the reason it is because it transpires that the bladder meridian is like a capacitor in an electrical circuit. It soaks up all the extra energy that's buzzing around and feeds it back into the system at night when you're asleep. That's why when you get very stressed, you're running to the toilet the whole time, because your bladder meridian is overflowing with all this extra energy and it can't handle it. The kidney meridian, kidney is very involved in detoxing your body at a physical level, cleaning out your blood. 25% of all the blood that leaves your heart goes to the kidney every time it pumps. But energetically, the kidney meridian holds a lot of energy around anxiety and worry and fear and stuff like that. So those emotions affect the kidney quite a lot and can cause the kidney imbalances in the kidney meridian can cause lower backache. The reproductive system is governed by pericardium meridian. It also deals with the circulation, helps to influence that in a positive way. So the reproductive system in men and women is strongly influenced by the pericardium meridian. It's a hormone meridian to a large extent, as is the triple heater meridian, which governs the adrenals and the thyroid. Now the thyroid, of course, is your thermostat that's going to turn up and down your metabolism. So sometimes when you're very tired, it can be because your thyroid simply is too slow, it's not turned up enough. And the adrenals are very involved in stress and adrenaline and cortisol, all that stuff. So you get an enormous amount of information about those issues through just touching the triple heater alarm point, as I will be showing you. The next one is the gallbladder. Now, the gallbladder is involved at a physical level in the digestive process, but it's quite a big meridian and has a lot of influence on emotional trauma and other things. So the gallbladder meridian is more than just the little physical gallbladder that you're thinking about. It has a lot going on, and the information you get when you touch that can be very significant indeed. We touch the alarm point. The liver meridian is the next one. Now the liver is your chemical factory. It's your powerhouse. It's the source of all the energy in your body. And when you get tired, it's usually because your liver is not working very well. With the COVID event, it attacked the liver and people got very tired. If you've ever had it, you're wiped out because your liver is under attack and it just can't produce the energy it needs. So the liver is really important as your powerhouse. It's also where all the food goes. When you digest your food, that's what the liver's function is, to take the food and turn it into metabolic products that you can use to build your body. So there's a lot going on in the liver, and touching the liver alarm point gives you access to all that information. The lungs are an amazing organ because they're actually they're very big. You have a huge surface area in your lungs. If you were to take the lungs, every cell in your lung, and lay it out one at a time, side by side, they'd cover the surface area of a singles tennis court. It's pretty incredible. And they're very exposed to the environment because at the point where oxygen and carbon dioxide are exchanged in the lungs, you're getting down to 1 cell thick, which means that there's potential for a lot of attack and organisms, getting in there. So there's a lot going on in the lungs, and information about the lungs is obtained through the alarm point, the lung alarm point. And the last one we're talking about is the large intestine, which contains, the large intestine is your sewage system, right? So it contains billions and billions and indeed trillions of bacteria. Many of them, well, hopefully most of them good, and not too many bad, but unfortunately for most people who don't eat a healthy diet, you get a lot more bad ones than good ones, and it causes loads of problems because toxins are reabsorbed into the large intestine. So you get information about all of this from the lung meridian and through the lung alarm point. And just as a sort of a thought, it is your sewage system, so you really don't want to be holding on to rubbish in your body any longer than you have to. So you really should be having as many bowel movements as you have meals in a day. So if you have 3 meals a day, you should probably have 3 bowel movements to be really healthy. So we're going to learn lots more about all this stuff as we go through the training course. I just wanted to give you an overview of the energy systems and the organ systems that we're going to be working with. So by learning the alarm points, which you're going to learn next, you're going to actually have access to an incredible amount of information about all these energy systems and all these physical organs. and you don't need a scanner and you don't need an x-ray machine to do it.